Yesterday, I had a vision. And Hashem Yitbarach revealed to me something that I waited for a long, long time to know and to understand. And in that vision, I saw a huge, huge light that is shining from above. And I wanted to reach that light. I wanted to touch that light. And I wanted to include myself in that light completely. But I didn't know how to do that. But I believed I could. So I focused in that will that I had inside, and suddenly I saw that I'm a lot closer than I was before. And I realized that my will just brought me higher to that place, that source of light. So I decided that I will want some more. And I did. And after a lot of effort, I found myself standing in front of that huge amount of light. And that light, it wasn't Hashem at all. It was an angel that was blocking my way and trying to hold me back. And he asked me, "What are you doing here?" So I told him, "I want to see Hashem." So he told me, "Who are you to see Hashem?" So I was a bit embarrassed. I felt a little bit bad. And I told him, "I am nothing. I am no one. But I want to see Hashem." So he said, "You cannot see Hashem. Ki lo yir'ani adam v'chai." Because a human being cannot see me and stay alive. So I dared. And I told him that I have a different explanation on that verse. And he wasn't happy and sure about himself as he was before. And he told me, "Say." So I told him, "Ki lo yir'ani adam v'chai." If a person doesn't have fear from heaven, can you call him alive? That angel wasn't standing over there anymore when I finished my sentence. And I still couldn't see Hashem. There is a huge rabbi, his name is Rav Alter David Chaim Stern. He was a student of the Chazon Ish. He was a student of the Steipler Rebbe. And he is one of the righteous people, hidden righteous people of this generation. I bless him to live long and healthy life with all of his family, his wife, children, grandchildren. With Am Yisrael. He told me once, "Ata yireh shamayim amiti." You are a real yireh shamayim. And then he looked at his helper And he told his helper that was very surprised to hear on that Baal Tshuva that he's Yireh Shamayim Amiti, because that rabbi, the Alter David Chaim Stern, he doesn't give compliments for free like we give our Emuna channel business cards. Every word is measured. So he asked his helper, do you know how he achieved his Yirat Shamayim? So that sweet helper asked him how. So he told him, through thousands of hours of prayers in the fields. That's how he achieved his Yirat Shamayim. And then he looked at me and he told me, all of his actions, he kept on saying to the helper, but he was looking at me, you should know that all of his actions are L'Shem Shamayim. He's doing everything that he's doing only for Hashem. I was a bit embarrassed, but I know that he's saying the truth, because I know myself, and I know that I'm L'Shem Shamayim. I didn't know that I was Yireh Shamayim, but it was easy for me to accept, not because that it was compliment. Actually, it's a lot easier to accept rebukes and insultings, to know that you're far, to know that you're impure, to hear that you have a long way, to hear words of sadness, lack of hope. It's a lot easier to accept and to believe. But to hear a compliment and to believe, it's harder. But for me, it was also something that I was able to do. Why? Because I have thousands of hours of inner observation. I'm looking at myself through life, and I'm not taking my eyes down. I'm always looking who I am, what's my purpose, what do I want to achieve from life. And every time that I see that I don't believe in myself, I understand that I don't believe in Hashem. Because to believe in Hashem, it means to believe in yourself. To believe in yourself, it means to believe in Hashem. Because if you believe in yourself, you believe that Hashem Yitbarach going to help you, that you're not so bad, and that Hashem will help you. To believe in Hashem, it means to believe that He's got enough love even for someone that is so far like me. And that Hashem Yitbarach, He's good enough. And that His mercy are endless. The meaning of the word mercy is good to someone that is not deserved to that good. It's to help someone that is not worthy. That's the meaning of the word mercy. So if Hashem, He is Rahman, and He is Father of mercy, so for sure that's exactly what He's going to do. He's going to reveal His mercifulness on all of the creation, even though that we're holding where we are. So I can believe in myself that I'm a vessel to contain His loving kindness, because my success depends in His love, in His eternal love. And He's got that kind of love that they called Ahava she'ena tluya bedavar, love that is not depend in nothing. He just loves me because that's who He is. He is the loving kindness. He is the source of good. He is the source of mercy. And that's why He created the world, to reveal His mercy in His creation. And it's about time. And we are standing now in the creation, in the time that Hashem reveals His mercy, because we're not worthy. And He's so good. And we just need to understand it, that we're not worthy, and He's so good, and now everything is great. Because now He can reveal His mercy on people that are not worthy, and everything's okay. You don't need to say, no, I'm worthy. You're not. I'm not. We're not. We know. We know that even an angel cannot serve Hashem Yitbarach even if he's got all of the powers, because he's a creation and Hashem Yitbarach is endless. And he's limited because Hashem made him limited. But what's the difference between people that have soul to angels that have been created? That they are really limited. And us, only our body is limited. But our soul is free. Because our soul is chelek Eloka mima'al. V'chelek Hashem amo. We have a share from heaven. And our share is Him. That part of soul that we have inside of ourselves, it's part of Him. Try to take a part of Hashem and lock it in a box. Did you really lock Hashem? Can someone block the Creator? Can someone hold Him back? Can someone control Him? No one. Because He controls the creation. Because en ha'olam mekomo, the world is not His place. Just He is the place for the world. So the world includes itself inside of Hashem, and Hashem is covering everything. Sovev kol almin, surrounding the creation, all of the worlds, and He's filling all of the insides. So there is nothing except of Him. So no one can lock Him, no one can hold Him. So when He's inside of you and you have a neshama and you have a soul that screams from inside, no one can stop that light. Because that light is divine light. Is light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's not only the light of Him, it's He Himself, like the verse is saying, Asuli Mishkan v'shachanti betocham. You're going to build the Mishkan for me, a home, a house, a place for me, and I'm going to live inside of you, Hashem is saying. We'll build the Mishkan over there in Shiloh, and He's going to live inside of us. That's the meaning of the verse. Asuli Mishkan v'shachanti betocham. Inside of them, inside of the people, not inside of the Mishkan. By building the Mishkan, we're going to reveal our will that we want you to live with us. So He's going to live with us. Because when we gave our heart, He entered into our heart. And we gave our heart by building the Mishkan. But Hashem, Kudsha Berichu, Libabai, He wants the heart. He doesn't want that $1 million to build the Mishkan. There was people that were so rich, they could build the Mishkan by themselves. We're saying that a person is rich as Korach. Why as Korach? Why to be rich as Korach? Because the Gemara is telling us on Korach that Korach, he had to have 800 donkeys to carry the keys to his treasures. Can you understand what we're talking about? Which wealth Korach had? 800 donkeys carrying sacks with keys to his treasures that are coming. One person that came out from Egypt with all of that loot, with all of those treasures, with all of the gold and silver and diamonds that they brought out from Egypt, Egypt was like a net that was hunting the fortune, the wealth of the world for hundreds of years. They were trapping, they were holding, they were taking slaves. A lot of nations went down inside of that horrible place that called Egypt in that time. Am Yisrael were the last one in that list. We were like a bone in the throat of that kingship. And with us, it stopped. And like that Rabbi Nachman Breslov is saying in Likutei Moharan, that the righteous man, the tzaddik, he's got the ability to be stuck inside the throat of the snake and to force him to puke. And then when he pukes his life, all of his treasures, all of the treasures that he's stolen, that he took, during his days of being wild and doing things in hefkerut, whatever he wanted to do, he've done. When he pukes all of those treasures and his life also, and he dies by that puke. So when Moshe Rabbeinu took us out of Egypt, he took us with all of that loot, with all of what that snake Egypt was swallowing for years, for hundreds of years. And when we were standing on the shore of the sea, of the Red Sea of Yam Suf, we took all of that shalal. We took everything with us, and we brought it with us to Eretz Israel. And that's how Shlomo HaMelech built Beit HaMikdash. With all of that fortune, with all of that gold. And it's all ours because it's been given to us by the Creator, the one that created the world. And he decided to give us the Holy Land and to put his house over there in the holy city of Jerusalem and to let us in and to give us the money and the wealth and the wisdom how to build it and how to develop everything that was required in that generation and soon will be again. And when we are standing in life in front of Yetzer Hara, we should know he is in our hand. We're not in no one's hand. We are in the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he's got all the powers. And we just need to focus on him. We just need to focus on our connection to him. Asuli mishkan v'shachanti betocham. I live inside of you. I live inside your heart. I am your soul. You have chelek eloka mima'al. You have divine soul that it's part of me. You cannot divide me. If you're just going to understand, you don't really have a part of him inside of you. Just you have a link. You have a channel. You have a pipe to him. You're connected. Yaakov, chevel nachalato. Yaakov, he is connected with a rope to heaven. That's that soul that keeps us alive, that keeps us standing, that keeps us tall, that keeps us strong and happy and healthy and wise and with abilities, spiritual abilities, to conquer the world and to bring back the glory to Am Yisrael in the Holy Land, in the homeland, in Eretz Yisrael. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu machazir Shechinato leTzion. He brings back the Shechinah to Tzion. Who is that Shechinah? Where is the Shechinah? When Kudsha B'richu and Shechinteh separated in a certain way. So the Shechinah went with her children to the exile. The Shechinah is with you, no matter where you are. Your mother never left you. She's with you, and she will be with you no matter where you're going to go to. That's the Shechinah. It hovers above you. It's surrounding you. It's your aura. It's your protection. It's your siyata dishmaya. It's Rachel mevaka al banea. It's standing and praying and praying and praying. Me'ana li'inachem. She never satisfies with no excuse, with no answer why the exile needs to continue. She's fighting with Kudsha B'richu on her children in the exile. And she's fighting hard with her husband, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and she doesn't let him win. It's a spiritual argument in heaven that we cannot understand, but we should know. Our parents are fighting on how to bring us to the right way. The Father has his way. The Shechinah got her way, and they're fighting. And she's fighting with him, and she's arguing. And she's screaming, Kalani meroshi, Kalani mizroi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is cursing me. You're not going to do that to my children. You're not allowed to hit your child. You're not allowed to punish your daughters. You're not allowed to exile them. And he's telling her, don't worry. I'm going to bring the salvation. I'm going to build you the third temple. You're going to have a house. She said, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not coming back. I'm staying with my children in the exile, and I don't care about your promises, and I'm with them. And until you're going to fix your ways, I'm not coming back, and we're not coming back. And that's the real argument between Kudsha Brichu and Shechinah. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, Shuvu elai v'ashuvu elechem. You come back to me, and I'm going to come back to you. And we, and the Shechinah Kedosha, are saying, Hashivenu elecha v'nashuva. You're going to bring us back, and then we're going to come back. We're not coming back. You're going to bring us back. We're not able to move. You threw on us the Yetzer Hara, with all of his armies and soldiers surrounding us from every direction. We're not able to move. It's not that we don't want. We're not able. We should want. We want to want. We don't know how. So we're crying, and we're begging, and we're asking, Hashivenu elecha v'nashuva, bring us back. And when we're screaming, Vatal za'akatam, the prayers rising up, flying to heaven straight and tearing the sky. And we're strong and we're powerful and we have the ability. Just we need to believe in ourselves. Kim ta'aminu, te'amenu. Because if you're going to believe in yourself, other people going to believe in you. Each and every one of us should be a role model. Each and every one of us should be a guide, should be a leader, should be a master of prayer, should be an example, a light to the nations. Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us here? Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu spread us? Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu send us to such weird places? A brown city like Toronto. Everything is brown here. What's going on? I don't understand. Only one color, brown. Everything is brown in Toronto. What's going on? You have a mission. You need to reveal all kinds of shades, all kinds of color. The color of your souls, of your talents, of your wisdom, of your abilities, of your soul. Of your divine soul. You need to open yourself and to show your glory, to show your beauty, to tell everyone that Hashem is truth and His Torah is truth. And there's no conversation at all, and there's no argument. It's ludicrous to talk. Come listen to me, listen to what I have to tell you. Believe in yourself, be sure in your opinion. Don't be afraid because he's got money, because there are millions of them. Don't think about that. Be like David HaMelech. Kol goyim sebavuni, all of the nations gonna surround me. B'shem Hashem ki amilam. With the name of God, I'm gonna convert them all. I'm gonna bring them all to the purpose. I'm gonna show them that Hashem Elokei Israel Melech. Umalchuto bakol mashala. That Hashem, that He's the King of Israel. He's the King of the world. And His kingship controls everything. Everything. And no one can argue with that. No one can argue with that. No one in the world will argue with that if that's going to be your opinion. If you're going to stand in the center of the city in front of 1 million people and you're going to say that, they're all going to be quiet and surrender. They're going to bow to you. They're going to call you Mashiach. They're going to call you Christ. They're going to call you whatever. They're going to admire you. They're going to love you. They're going to kiss your feet. They're going to love you. They're going to follow you to Eretz Israel. They're going to be your slaves. They're going to give you their souls. Why? Because you brought them, you gave them their soul. because their soul depends in yours, because they're secondary. There's a second circle. The light, Hashem Yitbarach chose that way. It's not our choice. Ata bechartanu mikol ha'amim. You chosen us from all of the nations. We didn't choose ourselves. We just said, Naaseh v'nishma. We're ready to do whatever you're going to command us. What we said when we said Naaseh v'nishma, what actually we said to Hashem? Naaseh v'nishma. We're going to do. Hashem asked, are you ready to receive my Torah, my obligation, my rules? We said, we're going to do. And then we're going to hear. How can you do before you hear? You do what that you know that you're supposed to do. Means after you heard what you're supposed to do, you go and do. Great. Nishma, let's hear you, and we're going to do. We accept. No. We said we're going to do. We revealed our will to commit ourselves to Him, to nullify ourselves to His will, no matter what He's going to tell us to do. We don't care what you're going to tell us to do. You tell us to go to the stoves, to the fire, to be ashes, we're going to go. You tell us to go to Zion, to build Beit HaBchira, we're going to do that. We are committed to Him. We have a covenant. We are one with Him. Where? In our will. We're willing to die for Him, and we're willing to live for Him. That's our free choice. Uvacharta b'chaim. You should choose life. Life, it's to live with Chai HaChaim, source of life. Ki lo yir'ani adam v'chai. Because can you live when you live separately from Hashem? He is the source of life. If you divided yourself from Him, you divided yourself from life. מי שאין לו אמונה, חייו אינם חיים. If a person doesn't have faith, he doesn't have life. You cannot call his life life. It's a dead man walking. He's dead. His will is dead. His hope is dead. He is dead. And he can swing the standard in the Bet Midrash and to be dead. He can hold the Siddur in the Beis Knesset and to be dead and not to be alive. Because Hashem is not with him. Means he cannot see Hashem in his life. And we need to choose to live our lives with Hashem. And bechol drachecha daeu, to know Him in all of your paths, in all of your ways, means also if you now go to the concert, you should know that Hashem is with you. Walking with you to that concert, even to that pub, even chas v'shalom to the worst places. And if you think I'm crazy, so you're wrong. You thought I'm going to say I am. I'm not. I'm not. Really, I'm not. Because Amar Rav Yitzchak bar Nachman, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, I'm sorry. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said in the Holy Gemara, that gdola avera lishma mi mitzvah shelo lishma. That if a person now is sinning for Hashem Yitbarach, it's greater than to do a mitzvah for another reason. Now you want to put tefillin because you're afraid from your father, not because you really want to commit yourself to Father in heaven. It's less important than if now you're sad and depressed and you don't have power to get out of bed, and you know that if you're just going to push that play on your CD player, and it's goyish music, it's trance, it's rap, it's rock, it's heavy metal, if you're just going to hear those beats for 30 seconds of that morning, that gray morning, it's going to kick you out of bed. And then you're going to be able to wash your hands also. Because you know that song is waking you up. What to do? What can you do? That's your machine. That's your gas. That's your energy. You want to do tshuva on that. You're not really happy from the fact that that's what makes you happy, but you cannot argue with the fact that that is the thing that makes you happy. So if you're going to push that play, so that avera, that sin, that you made that sin l'shem shamayim because you just wanted to go get out of bed already, is greater than that putting tefillin for your father, or for that the rabbi will not going to see that you didn't put your tefillin. How are you going to choose? How are you going to know, am I allowed to push that play? How are you going to know? You need to believe in yourself. You need to check, who am I? Who am I? And why am I allowing myself to do those things? Who am I? And why I don't have those powers, and where I'm going to find higher powers. And who am I, and what Hashem wants from me, and how I'm going to connect myself to Him from the place that I am at, no matter where I am. Shochen itam betoch tumotam. Hashem is with them in the most contaminated places. You have to believe in yourself. And if a person doesn't believe in himself, he cannot believe in the Creator. No way. Just cannot. Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu created us betzalmo, in His shape, in His figure. He doesn't have no shape. He doesn't have no body. You also doesn't have no shape. You also doesn't have no body because you don't have no limitations, because you're divine. So if you're going to know yourself, you're going to understand that you don't need to compare Him to you and to ask, how can it be that He created us in His shape if He doesn't have a shape? That question is coming because we're focusing in ourselves. That's the mistake. Focus on Him. You don't have a body. You are a soul. You are free. You are Ben Chorin. Vekarati lachem Dror. I called you free nation. That's going to be our name. Vekarati lachem Dror. That's going to be your next name. Dror. That's going to be your name. Free people. Not free from obligation. Not free from Torah and mitzvot. En ben chorin ela mi she'osek b'Torah. Free person to learn Torah. Free person to pray to Hashem. That's your freedom. The slaves are those slaves that they have to purchase this album. They're slaves because they have to smoke a cigarette now. They have to. They're smoking. They have to. They're drinking. They have to hear the new singer. Wow, they have to go to work, whatever. Taxi, parents, friends, family, crazy. Why? Because you're a slave. Why you're a slave? Because you're afraid. Because you're not free. But when you divide yourself from all of that world, from all of those physical circles, and you look inside and you say, hey, I have a connection with Hashem, now you're free. Now you're free to go. Now you're free to become, to be who that you are. And you have to believe in yourself. That you have yourself, that you have a soul, and that your soul is beautiful and amazing. And no one else can see what that you can see with your holy eyes. Just you need to close them and to look inside. And then you're going to find treasures. And then you're going to find your wealth. You're going to find the source of life. You're going to connect yourself to life itself. And then you can create. Like that it's written on righteous people in the world to come. Each and every one of the righteous people gonna inherit 310 worlds. What you gonna do with those worlds? You gonna be in the aspect of the Creator to those 310 worlds. You're gonna become to be like Him. To supervise on them. To have mercy on them. 310 worlds. To each and every one of us. That's going to believe in his spiritual being, that he's part of heaven, part of God, part of Eloka, Mimal, from above, not from this world, with no limitations, with no constrictions, with no borders at all. Spiritual being, a soul from heaven. Each and every one of you, each and every one of us, millions of souls Millions and millions of souls are spread outside. Our job is to go and to pick them. Our job is to wake them up. That's our only obligation. That's our only mission. That's our only purpose in our lives. To bring back the children of our Father back to Him. To make peace between our mother and our Father in heaven. To bring back the Shechinah to Zion. The answer is, finally, Aliyah. Coming back to Eretz Israel. Finally. But not now. Now we need to see how that when we're going to make that Aliyah, we're not going to leave no one behind. Each and every one of us is another brick, is another beam of wood in that bridge. And we're building that bridge right now, bridge to Eretz Israel. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar meod. It's a thin bridge. Everyone brings himself into that bridge. And it's another brick. And it's another beam of wood. And Am Yisrael going to receive powers from you because they're going to see that you committed yourself to the purpose. They're going to say, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's a miracle. That's a wonder. How you done that? How you commit yourself to Hashem so much? Really you believe that when you pray, your prayer has been answered? Really you believe that there is someone that hears, that accepts your prayers? Really you count on Hashem on Parnassah? Really? You made Aliyah and you live now in Eretz Israel? Really you talk to Hashem 1 hour every day? What? Are you waking up to daven nets? How do you do those things? Hashem is helping me. And if He's helping me, He's going to help you too. Because there's nothing special in me. It all depends in His loving kindness. Love with no borders. Love with no limits. Endless love to His creation, to all of His creations. That's the love that comes from above, that comes straight from heaven. Yashar El, straight from God to our hearts. Thank you very much. Chazak u'baruch. Someone wants to ask some questions? Chaim gonna answer. Guys, we opened in Jerusalem an Emuna center. That's a center to help our brothers, you and the rest of our brothers and sisters around the world. We're asking you to be partners. Please help us. Please help us to bring that knowledge, that wisdom, to believe in yourselves to the rest of the nations, to the rest of the world, to the rest of the people. Be partners and take a part with us from your talents, from your abilities, from your wisdom, from your wealth, from your power, from your time, from your ideas, from every good thing that you can give. We need your help. All of Am Yisrael need to serve Hashem Yitbarach together, ke'ish echad, belev echad, with one heart, as one man. Thank you very much. Be blessed. Chazak u'baruch.